Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes. It's Kathy Colaiacovo with the Marketing Your Private Practice with Kathy C podcast. And today we're doing one of our free marketing reviews with Hugo Versalovich, also known as Hugo V for very good reasons. I think your name, Hugo, is probably just as complicated as mine to pronounce. How did I do with that?
You did excellent. Those three consonants,
Awesome.
People start freaking.
It is. Yeah, it's really challenging, right? So today you have Kathy C with Hugo V, which I think is awesome. So I just want to remind everybody listening in that these reviews I do are free, and they offer you a way to get my help and focus in on the one main roadblock or issue you're having with your business or your marketing, something holding you back from growing your practice or your business. So if you are stuck and can't get ahead, feel free to book a free marketing review as well. You can visit pepperitmarketing.com/review to get started, and I will have a link to that in the show notes wherever you're listening to this podcast. So now I want to go back here and officially welcome Hugo V to the podcast and to your special free marketing review. Now I'm going to do a little intro of you, Hugo, but we'll talk about a few things as we get into this. So Hugo has over 20 years in recovery from gambling and alcohol, along with being in therapy for 7 years. And he truly believes that 12-step meetings, therapy, and retreats work. He provides motivational speaking and training for schools, corporations, and recovery centers, and works with folks one-on-one as well. He speaks on topics related to recovery, addiction, mental health, emotional intelligence, leadership, and sales. And his goal is to empower people through self-awareness and self-love. So welcome, Hugo. And I'm really glad to have you here. We actually connected before in a free boot camp that was held by my podcasting coach, Adam Shively from Podcasting Business School. So I know a little bit about you from the boot camp because I've been doing a little bit of recon on you as well for this review. But I'm not sure, to be honest, that the intro I gave you does you justice for what you're doing now. But it's what I found on your website. So what I was curious to know is maybe why don't you tell our listeners a little more about you and your business and the main services that you offer clients or that you offer through your business?
Thank you, Kathy. Hugo V, lifeiswonderful.love. I like to say your EQ is your IQ, and also that recovery is beautiful. And so over the past couple years as growing a podcast, growing a business, things have changed a bit. We're really just helping people to really understand recovery or just understand trying to live a better way than what they want, as well as then also helping corporations want to build leaders. And I always say leadership begins with character. So whether you're struggling with addictions or you're just trying to get ahead in life, it all begins with character, and that is the way to move forward. And the last thing I always tell people is that you cannot outthink an emotional issue. And that's what usually hangs people up.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for that. So, Hugo, the review you applied for today, you asked if we could focus on your homepage. And I'm going to quote you here because I always get people to tell me in the application what they're looking for. So you said, sales are slow. I believe everything starts with my website, so I want some help there to solve that issue. The homepage, I would like it to help ease the sales cycle and then help sell clients before I talk with them. And I know that you're also trying to get people to go through a bit of a journey on your website so they understand what you offer, that they'll grab your lead magnet that you have. And ultimately, of course, you want what every business owner wants, which is for people to reach out, book a call or sign up directly and work with you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else to add to that?
No, mainly is that I know, especially with recovery, a lot of it begins with, do you have experience and can I trust you? And I put a lot of effort into content. That's why I have a lot of videos that are free on YouTube that go through the website. I have the podcast that you can either go through normal podcast avenues or through the website. But I also believe that everything is hosted on my website. So that the home page really needs to almost be very welcoming, almost like, okay, I want to learn more. And then from there, that would lead into, even if they just get information and follow would be helpful. But of course, I would want more people either building an email list through the lead magnet as well as sales with the system and the coaching.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So one thing that's really critical for me, and if you looked at my website at all or follow me online, you know, and those listening in know I'm a big believer in your foundations for marketing. So there's 4 main foundations I teach people in my Thrive Marketing Academy and that I work with clients on. So they're your messaging, your foundations, your content for marketing, and the systems that help you make it all run smoothly. So I'm going to be honest. I actually had you tell us a bit more about what you do or what you offer, because I really found it challenging on your homepage and even your about page to understand exactly what you're offering folks as a service. So I think that is something that you definitely need to hone in on, is figuring out how to make it very clear to people. And I'm always looking for very specific things. I'm looking for, when I go to a website, I want to know who you are, how you can help me, that you understand my problem that I have, which is why I landed on your site in the first place, and what kind of solution you might have for me and how you could help and what will happen to me after I get your assistance. So when we look at that kind of thing, when I go to your website, and for those who want to follow along, although by the time this comes out, Hugo may have made some changes, so it may not look the same, but his website is lifeiswonderful.love. So, which is an awesome website and a name, I have to say.
Just to clarify, it's LOVE, because I've had some people say, is it LUV? And I go, no, it's LOVE.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you did that. So I just assumed I never thought about people thinking that it could be LUV. Okay. So definitely when you talk to people, then you want to say, Hugo V with lifeiswonderful.love, LOVE. Like always do that then in case they're thinking differently. So yeah, so anybody that is listening in, if they want to follow along, they can go to that website. So I do go typically to the website of anybody that signs up for these reviews, and I take a look at things. And I can see why some folks are probably not doing what you're looking for them to do there, because it is challenging what you've got and sort of the layout that you've got there. And you kind of have 2 websites, Hugo, right? So you have your store, which you have hosted on Kajabi, and then you have your website, because when people off your main website hit to the store or to the products, at some point off of there, they get taken over to the site that you have on Kajabi.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and on there's a few challenges that I found as well that you may not have noticed. But with that, you want to look at a couple things. And I don't know if you realize this, but you could actually post, and you probably need some help of somebody with the technical know how to do this, but you could make one website all on the Kajabi site and have it all under lifeiswonderful.love there. Versus right now, the Kajabi site is just your store site, but you still have like an about page and you have the blog and the podcast, because you have a podcast as well. So you have a whole menu of things over there, and they're not necessarily what you have on your main website, because the domain over there is lifeiswonderful-love.mykajabi.com/store. And that's what happens when you use Kajabi. So if you're interested and you wanted to take it further, you could save yourself a bit of money on hosting and get someone to set up your entire website on the Kajabi side of things, because you're paying for them, the service with them anyhow. You could put all of it over there. Okay. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and I think honestly, you might benefit a little bit because part of your issue on your main website is how do I say this nicely? So I want to say this without being too critical, but it's a real kind of hot mess of images and words and stuff. And I think it's probably because you're putting the pages together, and it's probably a more complicated system than when you make a page with all the template pages that are on the Kajabi side of things. So it could actually become a little bit easier for you to make a nice flowing looking, design looking homepage, about page, all of those as well over on the Kajabi side of it. So that would be something I would tell you to consider, because when people come to the first on your homepage, and I'm just going to move you out of my way on my screen here and look at the screen here. So you've got like a little logo up at the top, Life is Wonderful, the 1% in recovery. You've got a message at the top, but you've got a really high banner there. Okay. Then you have your menu. Then you have a video that you've got in there. And the video kind of moves around, and it's got a picture of you that's in there. And then it flashes to some other photos of you. But the big words there are, you can recover. That's kind of your big message on the homepage, right? And then you go into how, implement the system, the recovery freedom circle, the system changing recovery. In 5 months, we work together. So you kind of dive right into what you offer people, and you don't really let them know that you get what their problem is, that you understand how I can, only imagine how complicated it is to go through the 12 steps and what challenges people go through there. So you're like, you can recover. How? Do this kind of, and go right into it. Whereas a lot of them are going to need a little bit of hand-holding, I would think, and a little bit of empathy and understand that you know what is involved here. And you have some things in there. You deserve recovery, right? And then you've got a cool picture of you on the phone and a line of book a free 15 minutes coaching call. That's kind of odd sounding now that I'm reading that out, like a free 15-minute coaching call. And then you've got some buttons, buy the course. So you've got some action steps, things they can do. They can buy the course, they can get the recovery growth course scorecard, or they can look at some testimonials. So, if you've ever heard this saying, you're asking me to marry you and we haven't even gone out on a date yet. That's what the flow feels like here. You're not really getting into where they're at and meeting them there and giving them the message that you get what their problem is. You understand where they're at. I mean, you've been there, you've lived it, right? And there is a path through here. You're really on this page. What you've got is you just start it right there. It's like, you can recover. How? You implement the system. Boom. That's it, right? So that could be challenging for a lot of people to understand more what you can do, how you can help them, and kind of why they're not going through and following through. Okay. And then you've got, do you want to live your best life? And you've got a video there. You've got Life is Wonderful. You've got your Elevan 11 Foundation, because I think you do some charity work through them, through the work that you do. But there's no explanation. So there's like all these messages here, but it's almost like somebody's just pinging all these different messages to me, and I don't understand what they are. The other comment that I want to make is you have a video there. Do you understand the steps? So the video is there. I suspect you probably have it on Vimeo or somewhere, not on YouTube.
No, it was made by a videographer, so it wasn't made on Vimeo. It's not right. He did it his own, and then that's why he has that music. So
okay, right, and that's fine, but it's got a title. So the video file has a title, and it's called "Commercial: The 12 Steps Explained." So
yeah.
Right there, do you see where I'm going with that? Commercial. You're trying to sell me, right? you don't care about me. You don't care about anything I want to do. You don't understand me. You're going to try to sell me on this because it says in big words right over top of the video, commercial, the 12 steps explained.
Yeah, I think I did that to
like
clarify.
That.
Right.
Yeah. So the problem is people can actually see it on your homepage.
I get
and
you.
So you're building a level of mistrust here more than actually building trust. And if I had to sort of give you an overview of what I found on the homepage and the website. So, and I know this you're going to be like, oh, I can't believe this. But I'm going to tell you right now, you have a lot of broken links. So there's stuff on your Kajabi on the store page. So you've got like links to podcasts and they go to 404 errors. You've got things like this on videos. You've got a couple other links that don't explain things or are broken. So for me, the bigger message that I've got here, and part of it's kind of the way you have the homepage laid out at the top, it looks like a commercial website with a bunch of Google ads on it trying to sell me on stuff.
No.
Because you've got these little messages there in the way of images, words, headlines, and they don't help me understand, oh, you get me, because you've been there, you've lived this, right? So that empathy factor that you want to have, and I would assume is really important to how you work with clients one-on-one or anybody taking the programs that you have, that trust factor is big, and you had said earlier when we were talking before this, you want to make sure they know that you're the one that can help them because you've been there and you know exactly what they're going through and how to get out of it and how to move through everything. So for me, the message that you really have to look at here is changing sort of the flow that you have of it and moving to a place where you really bring them in. They understand you get where they're struggling, you understand their problems, and you have a path forward because not only have you done it yourself, but you do this all the time with other folks too.
No, I get you. I agree. Right, because I was looking, trust me, I've changed a few times certain things about the homepage, moved buttons, moved this. And then I used to have at the top all my social media links. And then after a while, I kept looking at that. You can only find that now on the contact page, like if you want to go to my Instagram. And I figured no one really, because then I would be taking them immediately off my website if I have social media links. So you know, and I said, I'll put them
those in the header.
No, I know. That's why I took them out. And so actually what I was trying to first focus on is what's the first thing people see and read. Of course, they see the logo, and that's why I've kind of been changing and I said, okay, I have 3 lines. How can I make 3 lines before I even get to the other messaging part? Okay, I wanted to make sure they understand. I know more about the focus on addictions that I know most about is gambling and alcohol compared to like saying eating disorder or drugs. And then I always like to instill something that's more positive. That's why I put words like hope, leadership, character. That was always my first thing. And then it seems like then from there is where I felt like, I felt like now I hear you more about and I know I put commercial on there because that may be, because I like the way it's done, but it may be better placed in the product page than on the home page, and then do like you're saying, just have someone else film just a more heart-to-heart video, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of who I am. Okay, I've done this, I've been doing this for 25 years, struggled. I know what it's like to feel
So here's the thing.
Miserable.
That video is not going to be the be all and the end all of this page, okay? And I'm not saying the video is there. What's really more important, anybody has under 10 seconds for people when they come to their website page to understand what you have to offer. I think for you, And this is going to require a little bit of, it's not going to be an instant, leave here from the review and go off and you can kind of put it together. One book I recommend all the time is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And he is awesome at taking you through a path of understanding how to, get that message to people that you're here to help them because you understand their problem and you have a way forward to them and what it looks like in the future. Some of the words that you have at the top, the hope, the character, the leadership, I get what you're trying to do there, but I think the way that you've put it all there, you're literally throwing just blips of noise messages to people instead of walking them through more of a story, like start here, give them a few, and I'm not saying write 1,000-page, word and messages here. You can do it in smaller pieces, but you want to look at taking them through a journey. You get with their problem. You can recover. I mean, you have some really good words here, welcome to the 1% in recovery, stop your gambling and alcohol addiction. That makes perfect sense to it. And someone, when they read that, would understand if you were to use that as what you would call your one-line offer statement. Hey, my name's Hugo V, and I want to welcome you to the 1% in recovery. When you work with me, I help you stop your gambling and alcohol addiction. Hold on. By walking you step by step through my recovery freedom circle. It's a system that helps you change your recovery process. In 5 months, we can work together and develop the new you. So it's a different way of saying what you're saying, but in a way, like what you really need to work on here is making it flow so that as they read the words, they want to continue reading because they get what you're saying. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Right. You create that whole almost like storyboard that they do in movies,
Exactly. And I will tell you that book, Building a Story Brand, that's exactly what it's based on, is movies and writing and how they do it. Have you read the book? Because Donald's actually from Texas.
No, no, I have not. I'm in the middle of 2 other books, but no, I haven't read that one yet. But I'll get to it. Well,
it's an awesome one, and I'll put a link to it for everybody in the show notes. One thing that I really love about it is he has a few links in the book where you can go to the website and get some downloads that help you kind of implement the lessons that they have. But I think you would really benefit from that because what you've got here is more of a mishmash of what you want to say versus a cohesive journey you want people to go on and go through.
No, I agree. Right. That there needs to be like a better sequence as well as, to follow. No, and that's just because what you're saying, makes sense because there's a part of me, it's almost like I know something is wrong. I'm just now, just trying to, like I said, I've made some changes on my own that I knew, okay, now that's completely needs to be eliminated or moved. The other pieces, okay, this, there's certain things that I guess wasn't quite seen that, to follow along.
Yeah. And, with that, you want to always look at when you make these changes to your website and your messaging. One thing that I always tell people too is when you have your web page, every page on your website needs a next step for people to take. Okay. So on the home page, for instance, one of the top steps should be, if you're ready to get help now, book a call, come, and talk to me. Another one could be learn more about Hugo. So you could have a little bit of information about you, but a button that takes them to your about page. Okay. You could do the same for your services page. So you have speeches, videos, podcasts, products, coaching, blog, contact us. Okay. So the blog and the podcast, are they the same thing or do you do them differently?
No, they're different.
Okay. All right.
I don't have that many blogs. I have probably 5 blogs, but there's, 113 podcasts.
Yeah. Because you've been podcasting for a while. So you could look at what those blogs are. I mean, they definitely help you. One thing that I will say is each one of those, actually, I'm going to hold that for a second. Okay. So remind me to come back to the blogs and the PDFs. this. Okay. The videos page is one that you have like a way for people to join a Facebook group, get a daily recovery tip, see the videos. You have different videos that you share. One thing that I'm a little worried about for you is, so on this page, you have on your videos page, you have the 12 steps, and it looks like you have 12 steps explained in a video. And then step 1, we believed a lie. Step 2, we need help. Step 3, we're no longer alone. So you have 12 of these, and they all go through it. And you have a video for each one. And the videos are hosted on YouTube. Okay. So you have the information over there. That's a real good amount of information, and people can get something about that. Like it seems like from these, you're giving them some added tips on all of these 12 different steps. And, ideally how, each one of those will probably lead to, if you want more help doing this, that's what Hugo is here for, right? Like that's what I'm here for. My concern with that page is that you've got everything nicely organized. You've got 12 videos, then you've got some more down at the bottom on resumes, alcohol, anxiety, other things. You have so much there that my concern is you're making people feel very comfortable. They can come here as a resource, which is great. And it's all nicely contained in here, just like a course or a program would be in a course page. And my concern is that you make people feel so comfortable that they've got all the resources they need. They would never need to hire you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you've put it all there in a nice spot.
No. So what I did is because I originally was just doing YouTube, and so I did those videos like 3 years ago. And then just because they were done, I just had content to try to increase the website. But like everything, it's a website, a business is constantly fluid and changing. And I even thought like some of those videos, even though the content's very good, I could probably even do an update on them or just So I'm assuming you're going to say that, there's almost like too much free information.
Yeah. But here's my thing with them. Then with each of the video, so I'm just going to give you a little history of what you've got. So each video, they're over on YouTube. They're on your channel. They have a good title on it. They have a little bit of information, some hashtags kind of thing, and that's it. So YouTube is a search engine on its own. Okay. People will go there looking for things just the same as they would on Google or Bing or Yahoo, wherever they go. Videos often are found within YouTube itself, or somebody doing a search and seeing videos and coming over there. So you've got the videos, each one of them there with a title, some info, but you don't actually have in the description. And this is always a must with me as well. You want to make sure your description says something about you, your business, who you help, how you help them, and a link to where they can get to your website. Because there are a lot of people that could be finding your videos not from your website, but from online searches. But you're missing the boat by not taking them from that video over to your website. So my action tip for you on those videos is kind of twofold. One, every video that you have, if you could start do 2 a week, take the ones that are viewed the most, update them and make sure that you somehow have a call to action back to your website somewhere for them to go.
But you're talking about in the description on the YouTube
description
channel.
On the videos on YouTube. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Go into YouTube. Okay. I get it.
100%. I have a better plan for you than having this video page with all these videos on here. And this is why I wanted to talk to you about the PDF I found on the blogs and about your lead magnet that you have, which is the, what is it called there?
The scorecard, Recovery Growth
Growth. I can't say it backwards. Recovery Growth Scorecard. Okay. So on your website, and this was different when I checked your website because we had a delay in our session here and we had to delay it for a few weeks because we had some audio issues. But when I originally checked your website out and I hit that button on your homepage that said Recovery Growth Scorecard, I went to a place and it gave me the scorecard. I could download it right away. I think it was like an Excel file, right? Is
Right.
that what it is? Right.
Yeah.
Now, when I click on it, it's actually taking me to your contact page, which has your image of Life is Wonderful, a picture of you, a way to contact you, your phone number, your email, a map, all your social media buttons, and then embedded in there is a calendar appointment. So I'm not seeing anything about this recovery growth scorecard that I clicked a button to get. And
yeah, I gotta maybe.
For most people, you're going to frustrate them. But even before, when I got to it, that is not a lead magnet, what you had. Because I could click a button and I could get it without giving you my name and email. A lead magnet means you're getting a lead. You just had a download, okay?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be. I know what you did because I went to these last couple of weeks. I noticed there were a couple broken links.
Yeah.
There were things like I noticed on the scorecard that it wasn't immediately prompting a name and an email.
Right. And it should.
And maybe, right. And maybe if I switch and do like what you said, do everything like on Kajabi, maybe I'm having less website hosters, which would probably eliminate less broken links or less confusion. Like I agree.
Yeah. And so that was sort of my same advice, what you have on the blog. So like you have a blog, the 12 steps explained, and there's a PDF. I just get the PDF if I want it. I click it. It takes me to a PDF and it's an article. And my question is, did you write the article?
Yes.
Okay. So if I took this and saved it and went off with it on my own or printed it, there's not a blessed thing on it that tells me who gave me it and where I could find this person to get more information.
Well, you'll even laugh at this. When I originally did the scorecard, it was just the scorecard without my logo, without anything.
No.
And then I looked at it. Yeah, originally when I sent it off to like the first, because originally I just came up with the scorecard just as a free, but then when I started getting much better, good feedback, I realized, and this isn't, there is no marketing. So then I put the logo on it and did certain things like that. Yeah, but on the blog, because the blog, I just kind of just wrote some articles because I just thought, okay, but I see what you're saying. There's no signature. There's no nothing.
No, like
you never know who to
neat ones, right? Like you have a goal template. You have other different ones. Like you have another PDF. So you've got some of the foundations here, but you're not following through in a way that it actually is going to help you grow your business. Because anybody that's downloading those PDFs or your growth scorecard and you're not getting their names and emails, you have no idea who they are. And you have no way to follow up with them and email them and communicate with them and take that relationship, that connection a little bit further. So one thing that I wanted to mention about the videos, in particular, the 12-step videos that you have on that video page, that would be, my friend, an awesome mini course of 12 videos that take people through the 12 steps. You could have where they sign up for it. So I am going to tell you to kind of hide it off your website. But
no, because the paid course, the big one on the 12, so it actually, paid a videographer.
Yeah.
So those were kind of just like small, like almost like introductions.
Sure.
So my course has questions and stuff. But yeah, I'm seeing it as like you could almost as like they would take away from the actual course that I'm selling, because that goes into much more detail, has actually work to do. These other videos that I did on YouTube were just more informational.
Right,
just
but
quick
it could give people some beginning insight into who you are, how you help them, the kind of things you help with. It would educate them, give them some information, kind of like a trial run of you. And then part of what your job is from any lead magnet is to get them to sign up to work with you and take
I'd
the
use
bigger
that more
course.
as a lead magnet than a
Mhm.
mini course, since I already have the 12 steps as a course.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
for
get
me,
you.
so it's kind of, you've got all these different things that you could definitely be using as lead magnets, but you're just giving it all away free. And so none of them are lead magnets because you're not collecting any leads. People are getting them, but they're just taking them and running away with them. Some of them might reach back out to you, but if they have stuff that they're referring to, like some of those PDFs off the blogs or the videos that they have, they can just come back to it. They can remember to come back, or they can forget and never come back again. If you were collecting their name and email to give them that information, then you would actually have, a way to follow up with them, to nurture them with a few more emails to take them to the next step. But right now you're kind of, giving those leads away is what you're doing. And I really feel that, the merging of the two, of your store website on Kajabi and your main website, that would solve a few things. Because is Kajabi what you use for email marketing? Or do you have another system?
No, I don't have a system.
Right. So Kajabi has a built-in system, and they have, lots of stuff in there. Like you could easily have a form where they sign up for the recovery growth scorecard, or, they have an entire make a little free mini course in Kajabi and have an offer that's free and have a landing page that they put together. And they've got some AI stuff in Kajabi now. So you tell them what you want and they kind of just bam, make you a landing page and the whole course outline, everything. It's awesome. And I feel that with their templates, you could put information together in a more cohesive way so that it looks less like an advert, like a Google Ads filled with Google Ads kind of website page, and would look more like, honestly, like what your domain sounds like, lifeiswonderful.love, right?
So it sounds like you're saying is it's like I have a Google's ad page, but it's free.
Well, no, I guess what I'm saying is the
no. I'm saying what you're saying is right. I'm advertising, but I'm giving everything for
right.
free. This
You
is like,
100% are, my friend. You're giving it all away. Yeah, but
that's what I'm trying. They always say you gotta whatever is given, you have to whatever you get, you have to give away. Yeah. But no, that's not.
Well, and you can still give it away. There's just a little tiny price tag to pay, which is their name and email, right?
No, I get you. They build the whole thing to have the email list, right? Yeah. Which is why my email list is so small.
Yeah, because you're really not doing a whole ton on your website to get people to sign up.
Right, or using social media to
send them to your
almost
website.
To almost reel them in.
Yeah.
To my website or to a landing page or to anything.
Right. But part of the problem is you actually don't have a landing page for your growth scorecard, right? Not that I could find. Right. Maybe you have one, but it's not obvious to anybody but you.
No, I was trying to use the home page as really the original kind of landing page.
Right. So here's one of the issues with that. And it's why I always tell people every lead magnet you have, whether you have 1 or 10, which I don't think people really need 10, the best way to grow that and get more people to sign up is you have to be out there telling people all about it. Okay. And it's funny, we're talking lead magnets a lot because I'm running a free boot camp in a couple of weeks.
No, I saw that.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. If you you can have your lead magnet on your homepage 100%, but you cannot put a message on Facebook or say something on an Instagram reel and tell people to go to your homepage and sign up for that, because there's too much info on the homepage. They will get lost. You always want a standalone page where the only activity they can take on that page is to read a little bit about what the lead magnet can do for them and sign up for it. So you always want to have that separate page, even though you have it on your homepage. You want to have some other page where you could go and say, just go to lifeiswonderful.love/growth and grab my free recovery growth scorecard. Actually, /scorecard would be better, I think. But when they go to that page, it just says a little bit about what this is. enter your name and email, and here's the form, fill it out, and off you go. And they get the scorecard, and you got them as a lead. Because if they're interested in your scorecard, or if they're interested in your videos, or any of those PDFs on your blog, they're probably a pre-qualified lead, somebody that is a good prospect to do business with you.
Right. So, but I noticed the scorecard itself, just a spreadsheet, is a valid lead magnet.
If it's something people are looking for, are they looking to score their growth and recovery?
Well, how I came up with it is saying that in recovery, unlike almost every other form of business, uses metrics.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know where to begin. And so I was using the scorecard metrics and people have responded better than I anticipated, saying, this is what I need. I need a list of things to do to get my mind off the addiction and to focus on something else.
So that is awesome.
No, I know. I agree. That's the best out of everything that I've done this year. That's where I've gotten the most positive feedback and where people say, I love it, even if they don't do anything else with me.
Right.
And that's what I said. You're right. So that's how I felt like that would probably be my best lead magnet, because people, and the more people that learn about it.
Right. And so here's an idea for you. Okay. If you take that and turn it into an official lead magnet where you have a page and they sign up for it, okay? Part of your follow-up that you could do in the emails, because you want to nurture them after they download it. You want to use your email marketing system and send them some added information. You could send them to some of those top videos, one of those 12 videos, if it makes sense and fits. Like, you have some of this stuff, and you could definitely send a little blurb and send them over to one of the videos to, get a little more information that will help them with XXX part of the scorecard, or in this stage. But right now, everybody can get anything they want without having to give you anything.
But you're not recommending whatever's on YouTube to be taken down. It's almost like I just create everything. Right. I could either just create other videos,
or just
that
use
really
the
fortify the scorecard.
If they're relevant still and they're good information, send them over.
Oh, you're saying that I could just, you mean send them over to YouTube, or just put them on a different, take the videos that I have in my file and then put them somewhere.
And use them in a different way other than posting them on that video page.
Right. So technically they could find it if they do.
Sure. But they have to work hard to find it all, right? And that's the whole thing with courses or mini courses or lead magnets even. You put a collection of things together to make it easier for them.
Got it.
Yeah. Don't take them off YouTube because they're helpful to you there. But update the descriptions on them so that people can then go back to your website and find more from you, like maybe that download or that recovery growth scorecard, right? And that could be part of the description on some of them. If you want help going through your recovery, I have this scorecard that helps people, think about what people said to you, put that in there and put a link to where they can go get it.
Yeah, I know, because I updated the stuff on my almost like evergreen podcast description that Buzzsprout allows you to put, where you don't have to retype it in. All I have to do is do the top part description of this specific episode, and then it automatically puts in, hey, there's a recovery growth scorecard. Right. There's stuff, but
you can't do it automatically on YouTube.
Right, you got to do it individually. Yeah. I got you.
And that's why I said, pick the top ones. Like, look at your YouTube channel. What are the top ones people look at? Go look at those videos because you can see the views on them. Find out, what are the top ones. Make sure you optimize those descriptions right away. And part of that needs to be some sort of call to action to do something with you, connect with you, or go back to your website. Okay.
After the website's tweaked.
After the website.
That has a better flow.
Yeah. And I mean,
Don't go right now.
It's not a simple job that I'm telling you here.
No, I know.
We're talking about, getting your message clear and then figuring out how to take that message and put it into the website that you have. Potentially by putting it on a new place, by merging the two onto Kajabi. And again, that is no easy task. That is like hire somebody technical, most likely, if you know somebody or not.
But you can't hire anybody in Kajabi, I guess, or they have.
No, but there's Kajabi specialists out there that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you can do that because when you do that, you're looking at, taking your domain and changing it around. So don't do that if you don't know what you're doing, because you can take everything down.
Right. No, I hired people to do that website and stuff. Right.
Yeah. So, and I have someone that helped me a few years ago. I don't know if they're still around with the Kajabi thing, but I can look for their name and I'll send you that afterwards too.
Okay.
So,
excellent.
But for me, where you could get things happening better is really honing in on your message, taking that message, putting it on your website, and taking people through a better path there. Kind of like what I talked about at the beginning. You can incorporate, some of those words you have at the top and some of the things, but just doing it on more of a flowful journey. I don't think that's a word, flowful, but just taking them down a better path when they come to that homepage so they, understand, what their problem is. You really get it because you've been there yourself. You empathize with them. You let them know there's a path out of there and that you have some different ways to do that. When you get that through and clear, you'll find people doing things differently on your website than they are now. And then most importantly, the lead generation. You're really not, unless there's something that I couldn't find on there where you're collecting names and emails, you are not doing that. And you've got people giving you good feedback. So you should be doing something with them after they get that scorecard and continuing to follow up with some added help or tips or emails and calls to action. Right now, you're really missing the boat on the lead generation and nurturing people to take that, your courses, to buy your courses, to sign up, work with you. You're really missing out right now because you're giving all of it away free. Some of it doesn't have your brand on it. So even if they love it and they forget where they got it, they don't know where to get it because your items don't have anything on it. And that would help you as well.
Okay.
So
I hear you.
I will say, not a simple task, but definitely if you can get these changes into place, they will help you get better traction on your website. You'll probably find you're getting leads signing up. Getting that set up and working is a job on itself. But you have Kajabi. I mean, that is what it's there for. It has the forms, the emails, all of that is right in there that you can build right on that site and that platform. And if you did move them into one, then you could probably cut some costs down as well because you're paying for hosting. Is it a WordPress site that you have?
I believe so. It's WordPress.
So you're probably paying, depending on where you're getting it done, at least 20 or so bucks or more a month.
More.
Yeah. So, you can save that and have the whole thing on one site. And keep
right, because I paying Kajabi the $199.
Right. Yeah.
And then because on certain things on the site, I do a lot of updates. Yeah, I'm paying $59.
Yeah.
So, I understand.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, because you've got like an about page on each website and you've got a contact on each, like you could just have the one and put it all on lifeiswonderful.love, but in Kajabi. Because they allow you to do that.
Right. Okay.
All right. So
that works.
Action steps from me are look at your messaging and really figure out a way to update that so that you're building trust and welcoming people in on this journey with you. Double check a lot of your links. Like I would literally do a quick audit of your website, both of them. The Kajabi one in particular, whenever you mentioned, if there's pages that mention a podcast, almost all of those are broken. Every time I hit one, I would come to a 404 error. So you want to figure out what you're doing with some of those with the, listen to this podcast or whatever, and they didn't work as well. And then stop giving away so much stuff for free and start doing some lead generation so that you're building a list of people whose names you have permission to have so that you can email them and communicate with them and build that relationship that will take them from, free downloads into something where they're paying to work with you.
I got it.
All right. Any final questions you might have for me?
Yeah. Just one question. Everyone tries to say is, minimize how many calls to action. And I put, that there's, you can buy the course, you can watch testimonials, you can download the scorecard, and then even just underneath that, you can book a call if that's too many.
So let me look here.
Or maybe the whole thing about the course, almost like get them more into the flow before I push a course. The testimonials, I think, is important because it allows, let other people listen to other people instead of listening to me. And then, of course, the lead gen, I thought those two were the most important. And then possibly the book the call. That way they can get a little more excited.
So on your homepage, so that's where you're specifically looking at, right? So a couple things I would tell you definitely to take out. The section where you have all the links and the list to all the videos.
Okay.
Get rid of that. You don't need that. The testimonials are good. The live life contently and the spiritual principles that you have there. These are, one is just a pop-up and one takes them to the video page. So I would get rid of those as well. Okay.
All right.
The Spanish ansiedad and gratitude videos, links.
Right. Yeah.
Gone. Like any of those I would really honestly take out. You're not, here's the thing. Building trust doesn't come by you telling them all these different things in videos. It comes from building that rapport that they really understand that you get them, that you're someone that can help them and help them have that end solution that they want. Throwing out this proof and that proof and this video, like that's what you're trying to do with these videos, is show them proof that you can do this, right? That's unnecessary if you can get them to trust you from the beginning story part that you take them through, that beginning journey. And having the calls to action, I do agree, like give them some options because not everybody is going to want to sign up today. Not everybody's going to want to book a call. But you haven't taken them to a place where they understand what those different things are, right? The more important action at the top is honestly book a call with you because that's how most people are going to start with you, right? That's the main thing that you want to have there. If they keep scrolling a little and then they want to hear some testimonials, great, have them see that. I know you're going to hate me saying this, but under your testimonial button, just go put the S in the word stories because right now it's here success stories, not stories. Okay? So just a little typo to fix there.
Oh, what do you mean when you say, after you hit testimonial?
No, right on the homepage, under the testimonials button, it says here success stories.
Oh, does it? Well, that must something.
But here's the thing: the buy the course, the recovery growth card, the testimonials, those calls to action you have, you then explain them underneath each one. Recover in 90 days, work the steps. Recovery's card, it's free using metrics. Testimonials, here are the success stories. If you have taken people on the right kind of journey before you show them those three options, you don't need those extra words.
I got you.
See what I mean? You would change the buttons a little. Don't get me wrong. Like download your free recovery growth scorecard. Use metrics to help detox and heal. I think that's what it says there. Yeah. So you can put them together. You don't necessarily have to have them separated the way you do.
Right. Have bigger buttons.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But really, most people, Hugo, to work with you, it's going to start with booking a call, especially if they're looking at some of your bigger programs, right? And that's where you want to get people is, get started. It's either start here where they can go buy something that's an easy thing to buy. You have a course that's a few $1,000s. if that's what you're looking for people to do, very few people will come on your website, click and spend $5,000 to sign up with you. They're going to want to talk to you first. Make that the call to action there.
All right.
So it's not, is there a limited number you should have or not? It's what fits best with the path you've taken them on this homepage. That's what's more important.
I got you.
But you have a lot of extra stuff in there that just kind of gets in the way, right? Under the video, you have your logo again and the Elevan 11. No explanation. Like that can come elsewhere. The Elevan.
Yeah, the 1111 can go. Well, it's not Elevan. She actually put it's actually 1111.
Okay.
But she wanted to spell it a little different.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, that could probably easily been on an about page or some, or even the contact page, like something else, because then people are going. I don't want anyone to go to 1111 Foundation and go, "Oh, this is helping kids who have lost a parent." Even though that's a good cause, it shouldn't be confused of what else I'm doing.
Well, and to be honest, if they click the button there, they're just staying on this page because the link doesn't go anywhere.
Well, no, that's what I had it. Yeah. I just had it as a logo. Right. I didn't want them to go to 1111.
Right. And to be honest, Hugo, underneath that, you've got this message. Anyone can overcome pain and suffering by acknowledging and processing it. Become all-powerful and live your best life. That's one of your best messages on this page. And it's way down at the bottom.
All right.
Right?
I'll move it higher up. I hear you.
So that's where I would say you've got a lot that you could take off. I'm not sure I'm a fan of, I don't know if it's Calendly that you've got there.
No, it's It's actually Bookify.
So I'm not sure if I'm keen on embedding it there. Like I probably would take them to a contact page or something.
Oh, it's before.
It just looks kind of weird on the page.
I'll put in the button. Okay, just to actually have book a call, which takes them almost like to a separate landing page,
or just use your contact page.
Right.
I actually have a podcast episode on how to optimize your contact page, so I'll put a link to that in the show notes for this. But Hugo, I will send you a link to that specifically because it has a PDF that you have to sign up for to get. And in that, it tells you how to optimize your contact page. But if you go to my Pepper at Marketing contact page, it'll give you an idea what to do there. So,
all right.
Because some people may want to email you to contact, and some people may want to book a call with you. So you want to give them both options, right? If you only give them one option, because for some people, booking a call is scary as heck. They do not want to do that.
No, I know. I understand that. Okay.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking part in this. I really appreciate that. And as we close out here, I want to remind everybody that you can also sign up for your own marketing review. We kind of really dove in here into Hugo's and probably went a little longer than normal, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. But if you do want to have your own review, definitely sign up at pepperatmarketing.com/review. You can click the show notes here and check them for all the links to any resources that I mentioned, the books, the other podcast episodes, and Hugo's information too. And that, Hugo, I would love for you to share with our listeners here how they can connect with you and learn more about you and listen to your podcast too. So just let us know where they can find you.
Well, go to the website, lifeiswonderful.love, LOVE. Might have to wait a couple days, but everything is going to be implemented quickly. The podcast, the 1% in recovery. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and then also just one social media link. You can find me on LinkedIn, Hugo Versalovic, VRSALOVIC, and you can connect me easily on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And I will put links to all of those in our show notes as well. So thanks again, Hugo, for doing this and for going through what sometimes can be a painstaking process to listen to some feedback on what you've been doing, because I know you worked hard on it, but I definitely think with some improvements and changes, you can see some real benefit and start getting more traction off your website, definitely getting more leads. And that's how you're going to thrive with your business. Life is wonderful. And so thanks everybody for tuning in, and make sure and remember that if you want to thrive in business or practice, that means ensuring your message, the message you give people from your website and on your website, speaks directly to that dream client you want to work with and the problems they're having. When they trust you and that you might have a solution for them, that's when they're going to reach out and take that first step to working with you. And those paying clients are how we all thrive. I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.